Hey, what's up, card collectors? It's Ken with Ken's Cardboard. It's been a few minutes since weeks probably, since I've made a video. It's been a whirlwind. Was on a 12-day vacation, which included 4 days at the National in Chicago. And then I spent another 8 days with my son and his friend, going to 4 amusement parks, playing disc golf, and then watching a professional disc golf tournament in Peoria, Illinois, or outside of Peoria. And then when I got back, I was just busy trying to catch up at work, and now I'm finally getting to make another video here. So it's been 2 weeks at least. So you've probably seen all the things about the National. It was hot for a couple days, sweaty, and chafing happens, man. Had to bring a spare pair of underwear. It was had to make sure it wasn't too sweaty down the nether regions there. So not used to that kind of humidity. I'm from Colorado. It's pretty dry here. But spent a lot of time hanging out with my buddy Dylan. First couple of days at the National, he was so excited to pick up cards. Then also hang out with Adam Vintage Sanctuary. Hung out with Scott Reindeer Studios. We had a great time just looking at cards, helping him find cards he's looking for that was on his list. My list was kind of wide open. I'll show you some cards that I picked up, but I spent most of my time just hanging out with YouTubers and walking around the National. I picked up a few things and I'll show those. Saturday night went to a White Sox Guardians game. That was fun. It was a fun ride on the train. When we got down to downtown, on the loop part of the train, it was so crowded you had to push to get onto the train. It was a little nuts. And then we had only 4 more stops till you got to not Guaranteed Rate. I can't remember the name of the new name of the stadium the White Sox play in, but had a great time there. Then the next day I picked up my son at the airport, and on Monday we went to Six Flags in Gurnee, Illinois, rode some roller coasters there. Then the next day we drove all the way to Ohio, near Cincinnati, and we played a little disc golf during that day, and then we went to Kings Island, out there, rode some more roller coasters. It was really cool. We got to ride the Beast at night. That was awesome. Wooden roller coaster in the woods. And the next day we went to Louisville and went to a Kentucky Kingdom and rode some more roller coasters. And then we left early there. That was a small park. And then we ended up going to a minor league baseball game with the Louisville Bats versus the Omaha Storm Chasers. Shout out to Steve, Vintage Card Steve, who lives in Nebraska. Then also the next day we went to Indiana, Santa Claus, Indiana. We went to Holiday World, rode some more roller coasters, and then drove to Peoria the next day and watched professional disc golfers. I don't know if anybody plays disc golf out there, but that was pretty fun to see the pros up close, and witnessed an ace, which is a hole-in-one by one of the best disc golfer in the world. His name is Calvin Heimberg. But fun time. So let's talking about my vacation, and let's show some cards. How about that? All right, let's check out a few things that I picked up from some YouTubers. My buddy Scott, Reindeer Studios. You might recognize some of these images, but he puts out some cards. Got Hammer and Hank Aaron and Cy Young. No, it's Walter Johnson. Pretty cool. Thanks, Scott, for that. Matt Stukes, baseball cards. Stukes baseball cards and curiosities. That was cool to meet you there. Met John Wade Boggs fan. Met Eric 4-Leaf Cards. Thanks, Eric. He had Scott gave me this cool Don Mossy sticker. Met Iconic Al at the YouTube meetup on Thursday, and also Big Scott as well. So I met a bunch of other YouTubers. And then Dylan also gave me this surfing card here, so it's pretty cool. Don't know why he chose the Reds, but he did. That was pretty fun. The YouTube night was awesome on Thursday that Mike put together. Appreciate everybody that I met there. It was really cool to meet some of you. I'm not gonna name everybody because I won't be able to name them all, but I really had a good time hanging out, and I think there was pizza was provided there. Appreciate someone provided pizza. Just had a really good time there hanging out. And then Friday night was fun hanging out too as well. So Thursday night we hung out with John Mangini at the Lowe's Hotel. We had dinner there. We had 3 nights of hangouts, and then Saturday night I guess I went to the baseball game. Picked this up from my buddy Liam, junior baseball fanatic 12. He gave me this cool Chuck Nasty Allen and Ginter swatch. I really appreciate that, Liam. It was awesome to meet your parents. It's cool that your mom works at a baseball card shop now. That's funny. And she was checking out the cards at the show. She was learning a lot, and so she's very knowledgeable about baseball cards. Thanks to you, probably. So let's see what I picked up at the National. I was looking on the show for a bunch of Star Wars stuff, and I didn't really find anything. I saw a few graded cards here and there, and a few wax packs. So I picked up this 1981 Empire Strikes Back Series 1 pack. It's pretty cool. Pretty sure it's unopened, but may open it. Who knows? Just keep the wrapper. But it's cool. It's for my Star Wars collection. I was looking for a lot of different hockey stuff, looking for just different things that I want to start collecting. 1978 is a year that I like collecting. But let's look at some hockey cards. I was roaming around through the back of the show, and there was a booth that had just broken a box of this Leaf hockey, and there was a bunch of autographs and other things that were in there, and wanted to pick up this Lanny McDonald, who played for the Colorado Rockies, Rocky Hockey, back in the 80s, and so I got a signature of Lanny finally. So this was only $20, so I thought that was a good deal. These are beautiful looking cards. This was the Art of Hockey, I think. And then the money was donated to cancer funds, so that was pretty cool. That was a bonus finding that. The last day that I was there, the show, I was roaming around. I was walking around, and I found this guy who had some vintage hockey. So here's another Lanny McDonald when he was on the Leafs. He's the only Hall of Famer that ever played on the Colorado Rockies. There's a team set of the Colorado Rockies. And I think this is 1978. And then Peter McNabb, who just passed away. He was color commentator for the Avalanche for as long as they were in Colorado, forever that I know. Rest in peace, Peter McNabb. Real Cloutier. He is a Quebec Nordique, one of the best players that the Nordiques had back in the day. Here's another Cloutier Nordiques. There's another Cloutier on a goal leader card. And then here's another Cloutier on the Nordiques. This card is from, I like the design of this card. I don't even know what year this is from. Opeachy something. It's in French. I can't read French. Shoot. Someone's gonna have to tell me what, Shane, tell me what year this card is. And I picked up a Peter Stastny card, and I picked up a second year Ray Bourque, I didn't pay full price on any of these cards. And then also another Lanny McDonald, Maple Leafs. This is 1975. Pretty cool. So that was the hockey cards. Not all the hockey cards I picked up, but some of them. Also on Saturday I was roaming around, and this card I purchased off of eBay, but it never arrived to my house, so the seller refunded me. And so I saw this one at the National and ended up borrowing some cash from my buddy Dylan. Obviously paid him back, but snagged this one for $20. So this is the acetate version of the 2022-23 Topps flagship Kilm car. That was pretty cool. I got one more hockey card I'll show here. Picked up this here, Tim Horton. Some of you may have heard of Tim Horton. They have a coffee and donut shop in Canada, but this is a great defenseman for the Maple Leafs. 1959-60 Parkhurst. Just love the design of the card. You got the hockey stick design on the side here. Check out this old stick on the wooden stick, man. Oh, the lights went out. My little lamp went out, but you can still see it. So this is my first really vintage hockey card. I have some other ones from the 70s, but that was my oldest one that I have now. And then I was roaming around, just randomly checking out booths I hadn't seen in one corner of the show, and there was a random hockey card that was sticking out like a sore thumb in a bunch of baseball and basketball cards. And I asked the seller what he wanted for this, the dealer, and he had no idea. He said, check out the comps. And then I told him, like, $20 for an 8, but he ended up saying, you could have it for $10. So getting a slab card of Austin Matthews, numbered to 199 on these PMGs, sweet deal. It's got a little chipping at the top up here, but shout out to my Michael and Uki down at Australia, Leafs fan down under. Go check out their channel. They're huge Austin Matthews and Leafs fans. This video is going to be a little bit longer than normal, but that's fine. Walking around. Oh, I forgot I have one more hockey card. And this is one of my first Wayne Gretzky cards that I've ever picked up. It's graded for sure. This is a second year All-Star card, Wayne Gretzky. Looks really clean. And back that year in 1980, they had the Topps had these scratch-offs that are black here, and then they scratched them off and tell you who the player is. Obviously, this is Wayne Gretzky, number 99. The O-Pee-Chee version didn't have the scratch-off. It was just wide open, but definitely didn't pay. I think I paid $40 for this card. So there's my hockey card pickups. I was walking around with Dylan and my buddy and came across this booth that had a bunch of Japanese cards. I bought some cards from this guy last year, 2 years ago. Bought some Ohtani cards, but this time I saw this really cool Menko. This is Sadahara O, and I just love the design of this card. It's just so cool. Plus, it's a mini. I love minis, and had to pick up this Japanese card. So shout out to my friends over in Japan who like Japanese baseball. One day I'll get to Japan and get to a game. I love that one day. Walking around, Dylan was at this one table for a long time and checking out cards and buying some cards that were looking at the centering on cards, and I saw this beauty over here. This was a 1952 Gil Hodges. I just thought the color was really good on it. I like the fact that it's slabbed. It does have a crease in it right here, but it doesn't really affect the image that much in this card. And again, I got this for $40. So sweet deal on a Gil Hodges. And then I was at a table when I first came in, and I picked up three slabs. I really like the 1978 set. It was the first year I opened packs. Picked up this Pete Rose in an 8, and I picked up this Tom Seaver in a 7.5. These are all really well centered. And I picked up the Robin Yount in a 7.5 as well. I've been looking for between 7s and 8s in this online, and haven't pulled the trigger on any, but was able to pick all. I think I paid $40 for all 4 of these cards, so $10 less than the dealer had marked. So that was pretty cool. And then I was at a booth that Mike Moynihan, baseball collector, recommended. Craig Halbig, Vintage Sports Cards, and he had a bunch of 78s as well. And I picked up this George Brett. I love the image on this card. Someone actually took a great photograph. Not just a standard spring training photograph here. We got the gamer photograph. So that was pretty cool on that George Brett. So I got 4 slabs from 78. Pretty cool. And one of the type of cards I was looking for the most when I was at the National was the Redman set. I just love the design of the cards and the work, just the way they look, the image. And so I picked up this Joe Black, and Joe Black was Rookie of the Year, and he played for the Brooklyn Dodgers, and that's about all I know about him right now. I haven't looked up too much about him, but I just love the design of this card with the pink background, pink sky, and just the image with the ball and his glove overhead, getting ready to throw. So pretty happy to have this. There's a bunch of other Redman at the show, but I just picked this one up to start to kickstart my Redman collection of the 50s Dodgers. So pretty happy with that. So there we go. That's my recap of the National. It was really fun meeting everybody there, and not sure if I'm going to Cleveland or not, but not ruling it out yet. So we'll see as the time flies by. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great weekend. Peace out.